To say things got heated this week on Monday Night Raw, well, that might be a bit of an understatement. Of course, we got the return of Alexa Bliss, Bray Wyatt's friend in the Firefly Funhouse. She's back! And we have made a video on this already as it happened as breaking news, but of course there's so much more to dive into from Raw of things you might have missed, so strap yourself down, have yourself a drink. This is going to be exciting, hopefully. Now, it feels only right at the start of this video to wish a speedy recovery to the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre, who obviously appeared on Raw tonight via video link and is symptom-free, but did test positive today for coronavirus. Obviously, I wish him nothing but the best, and things like this, obviously he needs to take the time that he needs. They did confirm that he will wrestle Goldberg. He accepted the challenge for the Royal Rumble. Hopefully that means that he and WWE are confident of him being back soon. So, keep going, Drew. Hopefully everything's okay and you remain symptom-free, and see you at the Royal Rumble. Fingers crossed, dude. Obviously, the first thing to talk about is the return of Alexa Bliss. Just like me, I'm sure you jumped out of your seat and was hyped as well as the lights started to shut down at the end of Raw. The last time we saw Alexa is when she poured all the gasoline over herself, tried to get Randy Orton to light her on fire. Well, she wasn't playing those games this week at all. Obviously, the lights had gone out. Triple H was in the ring. He was then not in the ring. Randy Orton remained alone in the ring. And then when he turned round, Alexa Bliss was there. And wow, what happened next was shocking. None of us, I don't think anyone could have wrote this week's Raw and guessed it correctly. She threw a freaking fireball into the eyes of Randy Orton. Now, there were clues leading up to this. Of course, Randy Orton walked to the ring from backstage. You can clearly see above him red lights that they actually did flicker. Now, people on Twitter said that I was losing my mind when I saw these flickering red lights. So, here's the proof.
Randy Orton looks to use his...
The fact they're red lights, the fact they flickered, you kind of hope to maybe assume something big was going to happen. Obviously, the Fiend uses red lights, and under the red lights, you can't kill him, so that makes a lot of sense. But now it's the return of everyone's favourite weekly segment. Except for my neighbours, they don't really like this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a possible Puppet Watch! Is that Abby the Witch behind Randy Orton on this week's Monday Night Raw? Now, I'm not convinced, 100% not convinced, but you can see another image here. You can see nothing behind Randy Orton. There's nothing behind that pillar, and then it appears, and it goes behind it. It comes back again a few times, and it might be. Other people are saying it's a light. Some people are saying it's Rambling Rabbit. Still Puppet Watch. But it's just something maybe you might want to go back on Raw and have a little look through and see if you can see it yourself. Something I definitely wanted to include this week is the New Day Feel the Power podcast that's literally dedicated to the former WWE superstar Luke Harper, AEW star Brodie Lee, John Huber, who passed away recently. Obviously, New Day sent out great tributes about the man, so it makes sense they do this to pay tribute to a friend. They are joined by people like Eric Rowan, and I've seen some clips on Twitter. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but I wanted to include it because he's always going to be part of the Wyatt family. This is all about Bray Wyatt, Firefly Funhouse, and I know a lot of you will be interested to know that that's around, and it's definitely one of those things that I think every wrestling fan should go and watch. Now, as I mentioned before, the last time we saw Alexa Bliss was when she poured gasoline on herself and she tried to get Randy Orton to throw the match and set her on fire. Tonight, as I said, was very different. This was a very angry Alexa Bliss. She wasn't upset. She wasn't crying. She literally held up that pain glove and shot that fireball directly at Randy Orton. It kind of a bit weird because this is not the same Alexa Bliss as we saw that Alexa Bliss throwing gasoline on herself, wanting to get nearer the Fiend. Why? Does she know that the Fiend is coming back? Maybe. Maybe that's why she's doing what she did tonight. That big attack with fire. We know it all comes back to fire with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, so having her come back and throw that fireball, it just makes loads of sense. The Game! Triple H returned to Monday Night Raw. He kicked off the show, and this, I know for a lot of Fireflies, made people happy because it does add to the possibility that we get Bray Wyatt versus Triple H in the future. Of course, there is history between the two. Triple H is on a lot of people's lists of people that wronged Bray Wyatt. Hopefully he's on Bray's, because I think we've seen before the Fiend go for Vince McMahon. We don't think this match is likely to ever happen. It's Vince McMahon, he's in his 70s. There's reports saying he's in bad health. You could easily do this and still get to Vince through his son-in-law, Triple H, who again, Bray Wyatt does have the history with. Now, just because Triple H was on Raw this week doesn't mean it is going to happen. It doesn't confirm it at all, but it shows there is a possibility, especially for the fact Triple H's sledgehammer was set on fire when Alexa Bliss was making her entrance, I suppose. It becomes even more interesting when you hear what Triple H said at the very start of Raw. He said he was proud of Randy Orton for what Randy Orton did to the Fiend. If he's watching, he can't be happy about Triple H being proud of a man setting him on fire, right? The sledgehammer being set on fire was completely out of nowhere. And the interesting thing is it could have just been Triple H that went up in flames. And I think this was more of a warning to Triple H that it could have been him. And I like that. It adds the possibility that down the road, Fiend and Triple H could cross paths. Now, something else Triple H said at the start of Raw was talking about Randy Orton disrespecting and attacking legends. Now, last week on Raw, we saw him confront the WWE legends such as The Big Show, such as Mark Henry, who Triple H said he humiliated, which obviously he did, and Nature Boy Ric Flair, who both Randy and Triple H have a long, long history with. But interestingly, he did say last week, Randy Orton that is, that he showed Alexa Bliss mercy, and we can only assume he did the same thing for the legends because he didn't actually attack them. Even tonight on Raw, he did not attack Triple H. He's like something stopped him attacking Triple H until Triple H punched him. And that could be the catalyst. If Randy Orton is changing, that could be why Randy Orton can't just randomly attack a legend unless they physically provoke him first. Triple H did. So therefore, Randy Orton can attack Triple H. Far-fetched maybe, but possible. Now, when Alexa Bliss made her entrance seconds before, the Firefly Funhouse entrance theme song played. Now, interestingly, it was a very distorted, very different version of the Funhouse theme song to which we've ever heard before. Now, I know what you're going to think. See, why can't you show us it or tell us what it is or broadcast it? Because you show the Funhouse theme song at the start of the video. I have the right to do that. I don't have the right to broadcast what actually happened on Raw, so unfortunately I can't do that. But if you haven't watched Raw, then make sure you check that out because it was a very weird version. We know Randy Orton went to the Firefly Funhouse, more importantly, the unoccupied Firefly Funhouse, and destroyed the Firefly Funhouse puppets. Now, that could be why the Firefly Funhouse theme song was so distorted and so messed up. Because maybe the Firefly Funhouse is not the same after Randy Orton did what he did. That could explain why Alexa Bliss was so angry upon her return to Monday Night Raw. We know the Firefly Funhouse contains Bray Wyatt's friends, and if Alexa Bliss is part of that, presumably they're her friends too. And you saw what he did to Abby, you saw what he did to all these puppets. And if the Funhouse isn't the same, and she knows this now, and nothing's going to be the same because of Randy Orton, well, they're not going to keep that, just let him do it. They're going to go after him. They're going to be mad. And I like this. I like this so much. I feel like we say this now pretty much every week when we talk about Alexa Bliss, but again, massive, massive hats off to Alexa Bliss for the fact that she can go to this story, run with it, and the acting and everything she's done has been spot on perfect. So thank you, Alexa. We love what you're currently doing. In case you missed it, yesterday we did a video, Firefly Funhouse Unsolved Mysteries. There's a lot to get through. So much so that this video was 20 minutes long. Contained dozens of different Firefly Funhouse theories and mysteries. And guess what? This Sunday will be part 2. That's right, there will be another part. If you haven't checked out this Unsolved Mysteries video yet, please do. And if you've got a mystery you want talked about, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be making this next part 2 video probably Friday or Saturday. So you've got a few days to get your voices heard. Well, you bunch of C's, we did it again. The streak of things you might have missed videos following Monday Night Raw continues. I don't know how, but it has. And I do appreciate you guys for watching. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Like the video, it really does help it on YouTube. Share the video so your friends can find it. And I will see you as always next time. Peace!